Marcus Reed stared at the quantum field generator humming before him, its crystalline core pulsing with blue energy. 3 years of sleepless nights had led to this moment. The lab around him buzzed with activity as his team made final adjustments to what would become humanity's first stable, interdimensional portal. Energy levels holding steady at 97%, called out Dr. Alina Vasquez from her monitoring station. Her dark eyes reflected the glow of multiple screens displaying complex equations and energy readings. "Marcus, I'm reading some unusual quantum fluctuations in Sector 7. Marcus wiped sweat from his brow, his heart racing with anticipation. The portal project had consumed his entire adult life, driving him to push the boundaries of known physics. "Fluctuations are normal during startup phase," he replied, though something felt different today. The air itself seemed to vibrate with an energy he'd never experienced. The massive, ring-shaped portal began to shimmer, reality bending within its circumference. What should have been a controlled test suddenly erupted into something far beyond their calculations. The quantum field exploded outward, filling the chamber with blinding light and a sound like reality itself tearing apart. When the light faded, Marcus found himself face to face with the impossible. A figure emerged from the swirling vortex that had replaced their carefully planned portal. She was tall and graceful, with skin that seemed to contain the cosmos itself. Shifting between deep purples and silver like captured starlight, her hair flowed as if underwater, and her eyes held the depth of ancient nebulae. "Foolish mortals," her voice resonated not just in the air, but somehow directly in Marcus's mind. "You have torn through the barriers between worlds without understanding the consequences." Queen Nisara stepped fully through the portal, her presence commanding attention from every person in the room. Alina grabbed Marcus's arm, her scientific mind struggling to process what they were witnessing. "Marcus, the energy. Readings are off the charts. Whatever she is, she's generating a field that's stabilizing the portal from her end." Nisara's gaze fixed on Marcus with an intensity that made his breath catch. Despite the obvious danger, he found himself stepping forward rather than backing away. There was something in her expression, a loneliness that resonated with his own. Isolated existence in the lab. "I am Queen Nisara of the Ethereal Dominion," she announced, her ethereal robes seeming to move with their own cosmic wind. "Your primitive experiments have bridged our dimensions, creating a rift that threatens both our worlds." Marcus felt a strange pull toward her, as if invisible threads connected them. "I'm Marcus Reed," he managed to say, his voice steadier than he felt. "We didn't mean to cause any harm. We were just trying to prove interdimensional travel was possible." Something flickered in Nisara's cosmic eyes. Surprise, perhaps. "You speak without fear, human. Most beings cower in my presence." She moved closer, studying him with curious intensity. "There is something different about you, something that calls to powers you do not yet understand." The portal behind her began to fluctuate wildly, energy arcing across the lab equipment. Lena shouted warnings about cascade failures, but Marcus couldn't look away from Nisara. When she reached out and touched his forehead with one slender finger, the world exploded into sensation and color, and he knew his life would never be the same. The binding ritual psychic connection Nisara had created left Marcus reeling. Through the link he glimpsed fragments of her world, floating cities of crystal and light, beings of pure energy dancing through cosmic storms, and at the center of it all, a queen sitting alone on a throne of condensed starlight. Her loneliness echoed through the connection, finding its match in his own isolated heart.
"On the bridge.
Between our dimensions grows unstable," Nisara explained, her mental voice tinged with urgency. "Your quantum experiment has created a resonance between our life forces. To stabilize the rift and prevent catastrophic dimensional collapse, we must undergo the binding ritual of my people." Alina frantically worked at her console, trying to make sense of the readings flooding her screens. "Marcus, the portal's energy. Signature is fluctuating in sync with both your heartbeats. Somehow you've become quantum entangled on a biological level." Marcus felt the truth of Nisara's words through their connection. The portal wasn't just a doorway between worlds, it had become a bridge between their very souls. "What does this?" binding ritual involve?" he asked, though part of him already knew the answer would change everything. "NYS," Sarah's expression softened, revealing vulnerability beneath her regal bearing. "It is an ancient ceremony that links to beings across all dimensions of existence. Once bound, we will share not only thoughts and emotions, but our very life essence. It is the most intimate connection possible between two souls." The implications hit Marcus like a physical blow. Through their mental link, he sensed her centuries of solitude. As an immortal ruler, Nisara had watched countless generations pass, while remaining eternally alone. The binding ritual wasn't just about saving their worlds, it was her chance for true companionship. "There's something you're not telling me," Marcus said gently, stepping closer despite Elena's protests. "This ritual, it's permanent, isn't it?" Nisara's cosmic eyes shimmered with unshed tears that looked like liquid starlight. "Once bound, our fates become intertwined across all possible realities. You would share in my immortality, but you would also share in my eternal responsibility to my people." Elena grabbed Marcus's shoulder. "Can't seriously be considering this? We barely know what she is, let alone what this ritual might do to you." But Marcus was already lost in the depths of Nisara's gaze. Through their connection, he felt her genuine care for both their worlds, her desperate hope that maybe, finally, she wouldn't have to bear her burdens alone. "How long do we have before the portal becomes unstable enough to cause real damage?" "Perhaps 6 of your Earth hours," Nisara replied. "The ritual must be performed at the convergence point between our dimensions here, within the portal itself." As if responding to her words, the portal pulsed brighter, reality bending visibly around its edges. Marcus made his decision with the same intuitive leap that had led to his greatest scientific discoveries. "Tell me what I need to do, Saris." Relief flooded through their connection like warm sunlight. She began to glow with inner light, her form becoming more ethereal as she prepared for the ceremony. "You must trust me completely and open your mind fully to mine. The binding will join us in ways your language has no words to describe." She extended her hands toward him, cosmic energy dancing between her fingers. "Are you certain, Marcus Reed? Once we begin, there will be no turning back." Marcus took Nisara's hands, feeling cosmic energy flowed through him like liquid lightning. The moment their fingers intertwined, the world dissolved around them, replaced by a swirling nexus of pure consciousness where thoughts became reality, and emotions painted themselves across the fabric of space. "Do not resist." Nisara's voice echoed through the psychic maelstrom. "Let me show you who I truly am." Suddenly, Marcus was experiencing her memories as if they were his own. He felt the weight of the crown placed on her head when she was barely more than a child, the crushing responsibility of ruling an empire spanning dozens of star systems. He experienced her first taste of immortality, the joy of endless time, gradually souring into the curse of eternal solitude. Through the connection, Nisara experienced his memories in return. She felt his childhood wonder at the stars, his drive to push beyond the boundaries of known science, and the loneliness that came from being too brilliant for most people to understand. She experienced his late nights in the lab, working alone while others lived and loved and dreamed. "You understand," she whispered, her mental voice filled with wonder. "You know what it means to be set apart, to carry burdens others cannot comprehend?" There, consciousness merged deeper, sharing not just memories but the fundamental essence of who they were. Marcus felt Nisara's fierce protectiveness toward her people, her guilt over decisions that saved millions but cost thousands, her secret dreams of simple pleasures she could never allow herself. In return, she experienced his passion for discovery, his quiet courage in facing the unknown, and his capacity for love that he had never fully expressed. The ritual reached its crescendo as their souls touched across dimensions. Marcus felt his mortality expanding, stretching across timelines he had never imagined. Nisara felt her cosmic awareness grounding itself in human warmth and determination. They were becoming something new together, neither fully human nor fully ethereal, but a perfect synthesis of both. When the psychic storm finally calmed, found themselves floating within the portal itself, held aloft by energies that responded. To their combined will, Nicera's appearance had subtly changed. Her cosmic beauty now held warmth and accessibility that made her seem more real, more present. Marcus discovered his own transformation as he looked at his hands, now faintly luminescent with the same inner light that graced his queen. "The binding is complete," Nicera said softly, her voice now carrying harmonics that resonated in both the physical and psychic spectrums. "We are joined across all realities, all possibilities." Marcus pulled her close, marveling at how perfectly she fit in his arms. Through their bond, he felt her amazement at physical touch that carried emotional weight rather than just cosmic energy. "I can feel everything you feel," he murmured against her hair, which now shimmered with captured starlight. "And I can feel your human heart," she replied, pressing her hand against his chest. "It beats with such beautiful certainty, such pure intention. I had forgotten what it felt like to experience emotions without the weight of empire behind them." They kissed then, and it was like galaxies being born. Their combined consciousness touched every corner of both their worlds, and for a moment, all the barriers between dimensions became transparent. The portal around them stabilized completely, its chaotic energies now flowing in perfect harmony with their united will. Alina single quotes as voice reached them from what seemed like a great distance. "Marcus, the readings are stabilizing. Whatever you two are doing in there, it's working." But Marcus barely heard her. Lost in Nicera's embrace, he had found something he never knew he was searching for, a love that transcended worlds, species, and the very fabric of reality itself, the Crown's Waith ethereal dominions war council. Materialized around the stabilized portal, their cosmic forms radiating displeasure. Commander Zephin, Nicera's most trusted advisor, stepped forward with military precision, his stellar armor gleaming with contained supernovas. "My queen," Zephon's voice carried the authority of ages. "The High Council demands explanation for your unsanctioned binding with this human. Such unions require council approval and extensive compatibility testing." Nicera straightened, her newfound connection to Marcus giving her strength even as it complicated her position. Through their bond, Marcus felt the political pressure, crushing down on her like the weight of collapsed stars. "The binding was necessary to prevent dimensional catastrophe, Commander. Our survival took precedence over protocol." "Survival? Yes," interjected Counselor Thyra, her form shifting between states of matter as her agitation grew. "But the continuation of our bloodline requires careful consideration. This human, however bonded, cannot provide the genetic stability our people need." Marcus stepped forward, drawing on reserves of courage he didn't know he possessed. "With respect, Counselor, your queen and I didn't choose this connection lightly. We're bound across all realities now. Whatever challenges that creates, we'll face them together." Through their psychic link, he felt Nicera's gratitude mixed with growing dread. The weight of her crown had never felt heavier than in this moment. Caught between duty to her people and the love that had awakened in her heart, Shoan's energy field pulsed with what Marcus now recognized as protective concern. "My queen, the bloodline laws are absolute. If you are to remain sovereign, you must produce an heir within the next cosmic cycle. This human cannot fulfill that requirement." Lena chose that moment to interrupt from her monitoring station. Actually, the quantum binding process seems to have altered Marcus's genetic structure at the subatomic level. His DNA is now compatible with non-human physiologies. Theoretically, reproduction between their species should be possible. The council fell silent, their collective surprise rippling through the dimensional space. Nicera's hope blazed through the bond like a newborn star, but Marcus felt the deeper implications settling around them like cosmic dust. "Even if reproduction is possible," Thyra continued after recovering her composure, "this human lacks the immortal constitution necessary to rule alongside our queen. He would age and die while she remained eternal." Marcus felt Nicera's pain at those words, the fear of losing him that cut deeper than any physical wound. Through their connection, he experienced her memories of previous lovers, mortal beings she had watched grow old and die while she remained unchanged. An agony of eternal loneliness threatened to overwhelm them both. The binding has changed that too, Marcus said quietly, surprising himself with his calm certainty. I can feel it in my cells, in my quantum signature. Immortality isn't just about time, it's about existing across all dimensional possibilities. Simultaneously, Nisara and I share that existence now. Nisara turned to face her council with renewed resolve. The human speaks truth. Our bond has created something unprecedented, a bridge between mortal determination and cosmic awareness. If you require proof of our compatibility, observe how our union has already strengthened both our worlds. She gestured toward the portal, which now hummed with perfect stability, its energy patterns creating beautiful geometric mandalas in the space between dimensions. This gateway could revolutionize trade, knowledge exchange, and mutual defense between our civilizations. Binding has made us stronger, not weaker. Commander Zephin studied Marcus with new respect. If the human truly shares your immortal nature, if he can indeed provide the genetic compatibility our people require, then perhaps the Council should consider formal recognition of this union. The words hung in the dimensional space like a challenge. Marcus felt Nisara's racing heart through their bond, her desperate hope warring with centuries of ingrained duty. Whatever happened next would determine not just their future together, but the fate of two entire worlds. The High Council's debate raged for hours, while Marcus and Nisara waited in the space between dimensions, their bond allowing them to share strength, even as uncertainty threatened to tear them apart. Through the portal they watched both worlds. Earth scientists working frantically to understand the dimensional bridge, and the ethereal Dominion citizens gathering to witness history in the making. Alina approached the portal's edge, her scientific curiosity overcoming her caution. Marcus, the readings show your quantum signature has stabilized at something completely unprecedented. Your registering is both fully human and fully compatible with Nisara's energy matrix. Whatever this binding has done, it's created a new form of existence. Counselor Thyra materialized beside them, her shifting form more stable now, indicating serious consideration. The precedent you've set troubles many, but cannot be ignored. Your union has already prevented dimensional collapse and established the first stable bridge between our species. Perhaps adaptation, rather than tradition, serves our survival better. Commander Zephin joined them, his stellar armor dimmed to show respect. My queen, the military applications alone make this alliance invaluable. Earth's resourcefulness combined with our cosmic awareness could create defensive capabilities neither world could achieve alone. Nisara's relief flooded through there. Bond like cosmic wind. Then you support formal recognition of our union. More than that, Thyra replied, her form solidifying into something resembling approval. We propose elevation. Let this binding become the foundation of a new era. Make this human your king, not just your consort. Let your combined rule bridge our civilizations. Marcus felt the magnitude of what was being offered settle around him like a mantle of stars. Through their connection, he shared Nisara's wonder. And trepidation, becoming king of an interdimensional empire, was beyond anything he had ever imagined. Yet it felt as natural as breathing. There's something else, Alina called from her station, excitement threading through her voice. Oh, the portals. Stabilization is allowing us to detect other dimensional signatures. There are more worlds out there, Marcus. Dozens of them, all connected by quantum threads. This isn't just about Earth and the ethereal dominion anymore. Nisara's eyes widened as she reached out with her cosmic awareness, following the quantum trails Alina had discovered. An entire network of realities, each with their own civilizations, their own challenges. We could become not just rulers of two worlds, but architects of an interdimensional alliance. Marcus took her hand, marveling at how their combined consciousness could stretch across multiple realities simultaneously. Through their bond, he felt possibilities unfolding like flowers made of light. Imagine what we could accomplish together: human innovation and determination paired with cosmic wisdom and power. We could prevent wars, cure diseases, explore frontiers that neither of our species could reach alone. The formal coronation took place within the portal itself, with representatives from both worlds bearing witness to something unprecedented in galactic history. As the crown of condensed starlight settled on Marcus's head, he felt his consciousness expand to encompass not just his own world, but dozens of others stretching across the dimensional network. Nisara's joy blazed through their connection as she placed her hand in his. Together we shall rule not through conquest, but through unity. Our love will be the bridge that connects all worlds. Alina watched from Earth's side of the portal, tears streaming down her face as she realized her friend had become something beyond human, yet entirely himself. You did it, Marcus. You actually did it. You've given both our species a future none of us could have imagined. As their crowning ceremony concluded, Marcus and Nisara stood hand in hand, their combined consciousness touching dozens of realities simultaneously. What had begun as a scientific experiment had become the foundation of an interdimensional empire built not on power, but on the infinite possibilities that emerged when two souls found perfect unity across the cosmos. Their love story would be told across 1,000 worlds, but for them, was just the beginning of an eternal adventure that would reshape the very nature of existence itself.